GSL.
Welcome back to the GSL Code S Finals. It's 1-1 right now. Looks like it can still be anybody's games. We've obviously seen 2 games so far. They are both very different from each other.
Yeah, game 1, absolutely awesome. Really, really close. Byul could have won it, but Rain took it down. The second game, pizza.
Oh, we got pizza
Forget
here.
about the second game, pizza.
Thank you to
audience.
Blizzard for bringing us pizza. Look at guys, this is what paradise looks like, guys.
Guys, this whole
StarCraft on a big screen and pizza here.
Holy crap, that's like the greatest thing ever.
That's the dream, guys.
It smells really good. You can smell it up
yeah,
here.
it does. We got a nice pizza aroma going on in here.
That's right. Normally Tesa smells like pizza, but today, all I can smell is pizza.
Yeah. Wow, actually, the pizza aroma is seriously strong in here.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, there's like, I don't know, 40 pizzas or something downstairs, so that's a lot.
Back to the games we were talking about.
Second game
one tactically was absolutely brilliant from Rain. Game 2, I understand why you would incorporate a build like that in a best of 7, especially if you're known for being a conservative Protoss player. You got to mix it up from time to time. So he tried that. It failed. Byul really did not. It was actually pretty elementary how the game was lost, too. I mean, Lings got in the base. Rain wasn't watching there. The attack didn't do really anything. He was overrun.
There was actually nothing impressive about the rush from Rain either. There was nothing at all revolutionary. In fact, Byul knew something had to be going on because there were minerals missing when his Lings scouted, the natural, because there was nothing at the wall. So he's like, okay, you have something in your main. There's something in there. So he sends it over and sees 2 more gates, sees the wall and of gates. It's like, okay, now I know you have at least 5 gates.
Yeah, the funny thing about that build is that a lot of times we see Protosses that do a quick expand build like that. Well, it's not that quick. You get your gases, then you expand. You make the second gateway and the third gateway at the entrance of your expansion.
Yeah.
But in that game, he made his 4th gateway and his 5th gateway at the entrance of his expansion. So obviously, Zerg's going to know, there's an attack coming his way.
Sure.
Anyways, the game is now loaded up. This is game number 3, Rain against Byul here in the GSL Code S Finals.
You better jump it, GSL.
In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
My Insanity Rain.
And in the upper left, in the red, our Zerg player.
CJN2's Byul.
All right. Let's see how these two match up on this map. This is one I don't really expect for Rain to do any sort of all-in on. Definitely one you can play a really strong defensive macro game on.
So let's talk about the way this map's shaped. If you guys look at the mini-map here in the upper left,
Bottom left.
What?
You said upper left.
Oh, I meant on the upper left side of the mini-map.
Oh,
So in the upper left side of the mini-map here for the Zerg side, you know, it's the natural expansion. That's obviously easy to take. So this map would not be fair for Zerg. The third base, kind of at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I guess you could say. Easy base to take. The problem for Zerg is the 4th base, which is one of 3 locations. We see that center left, sort of center, upper middle part of the map, and then in the upper right.
Yeah,
and that's the burden. So most Protosses just go into late game and then wait for Zerg to try to take that, poke out with, let's say, Colossus and everything else Protoss has, hit that, take it out, and then just run away.
It's hard to attack the 3rd on this base. It's easy to attack the 4th. So that's the type of situation we're in, which is why we'll probably see Rain go into 3 bases. And even though Byul could try to attack and take advantage of that, it's pretty easy for Protoss to defend on 3 bases here as well. So I'm excited to see how this goes, but looks like a little bit of an offensive gas going on.
Yeah, what is this, Brood War? He took the gas? That's interesting. Again, that does cause a little bit of a delay. You got to remember, guys, Rain's builds are so tight that this might mess him up more than we would expect.
It could. It could.
Also, it would depend on which Zergs Rain practices with, because there are plenty of Zergs that just never, ever, ever take your gas, ever. So this might be a bit of a wild card thrown out here.
Yeah. Well, that's not a Protoss assimilator. That is a Zerg extractor. And as Snoot Wells knows, that doesn't have as much health. So goes down to 4 probes relatively easily. Yeah, I mean, it slows his gas down a little bit. So if he did have something planned, like, let's say, an Oracle, that is just going to be slower now. I mean, I like the move overall from Byul, and he cost him a lot of minerals having all those probes attacking as well. So...
Well, the cybernetic score is done. We should get a glimpse into what the tech's going to be. Again, remember, gas very low, as you can see here at the upper right side of the screen. He should have had a little bit more gas. Again, guys, a lot of you might think that wouldn't have been as much of a big deal. At this level of StarCraft, that does matter.
No, every little thing kind of makes you alter what you're doing, and especially if you have something that is like ultra timed out to the second, that something like that can mess you up. So we'll see what Rain does, but it doesn't seem like he had anything too pressing to get into with his gas. He started out with 2 on there. He does have 3 now, but
looks like the Lings are going to get up here uncontested, just go right into the main. And this is, again, another little nuisance here for Rain. Does Rain make the tech that he wants? Does he perhaps make a certain type of tech and then just cancel that when he gets rid of these Lings? It's a little bit annoying.
it certainly is. No mothership core yet. We should be seeing that pretty soon, I would say.
Ooh.
Good micro.
Good micro. Really nicely done. The Lings are going to come in here for a second round.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Okay, well,
baited.
Basically. He is going to make another gateway. We see 2 more gates now. Let's see. There's a probe still over here. Okay, Overlord sees that. Anything else he's going to give us?
No, this looks pretty standard.
He's going to go, yep, for traditional.
Oh, that Stargate is at a peculiar time.
Okay, there it is.
Now, there's a couple things that this could be. This could be Oracle, and very likely if Oracle into some Void Rays. Rain really likes having 3 to 4 Void Rays with his early compositions, and it could be Phoenixes, but like I'm pretty darn sure it's going to be Oracle here. I think that he's just like, well, okay, you messed up my gas a little bit early on. If my Oracle just comes at like a funny late time, it's a good chance that you just aren't looking for it to be, because when Oracle comes early, Zerg is literally staring at the minimap waiting for the Oracle because they know when they come in.
I love what you're saying here, and it's something we've seen in StarCraft in a lot of different ways, right? In the very old builds, whether it was Brood War or StarCraft II, someone would open up and say, "I'm going to drop. That's the first thing I'm going to do," or "I'm going to do this rush," but. Or, you know, I'm going to tech immediately to Mutas. But what people have discovered over time at RTS is that if you just do a normal build and then tech that later, a lot of the time they don't have the defenses. They don't have any defense at all for that, simply because that wasn't part of the initial opening. And this could really throw people off. We'll see how much damage this Oracle does, because right now, in Byul's mind, he might be looking at this and think, Stargate's simply not a threat. I see an hallucinated Phoenix out on the map. I didn't see a Stargate at the time that I checked. And he's banking it. He actually wants to blindside.
This is brilliant.
He wants to blindside Byul here.
Does he send them together, or does he send them separately?
Oh, we got the pizza, guys.
Oh, man.
We got pizza up here.
I don't even want to open it to check. And
there's so much meat on that.
It's all meat. All right. Well, this is the life I chose for myself when I decided I loved animals too much. Anyways,
this is like 5 years of StarCraft II. What is happening?
Did he? I don't think he saw the. Oh wait, no, he did. Oh my God!
Did he see it?
The Lings caught a glimpse of the Oracles. That's absolutely huge.
Very bad.
But he has 2, so he can still get quite a few. And look at this. He's getting there before they're up. This is going to be a lot of drone kills, Tasteless.
And he is going to just keep gunning them down. Keeping both Oracles alive, actually, and backing out.
Micro just slightly off there.
Let's remember, if he hadn't spotted that, it could have been an even bigger difference. Keep in mind, when you get a Stargate, okay, so you're investing that many minerals and gas, then you have the 2 Oracles. You have to make sure that those units pay for themselves and more. Usually when you do any kind of drop or harass, it's not a matter of I want to try to balance the game out with this. It's that you want to cripple your opponent. So it's very important that Rain does as much damage as possible to these 2 Oracles.
Well, he's gotten 6 kills. There are spores up now. Of course, they do help in some other ways. A lot of scouting they get done. You know, they can help defend against you know, any attacks that come as well. They do some tagging, some detecting. They do a lot of stuff, but They're across the map right now. We do have an attack coming in. Bro movement, roaches, part of that. Oh my god, the cannon is not up yet, Tasteless.
This is not good. The roaches are going to come down here. They're going to get very good positioning here. They finally can come right up out of these sentries. And this is the exact play that Byul needed to have here.
Yeah, and he just doesn't have anything here right now with him. He is making some more stalkers here. Doesn't even have blink yet to try to escape. He's losing every sentry.
There's no way the stalkers can get away. He's trying to open more zealots just to soak up the damage here. It looks like he might barely be able to hold on. Even the Phoenix is coming here to pick up a roach because he needs to do anything to slow this down.
Very effective attack there by Byul, no doubt about it. Killing all those sentries off. Really catching Rain off guard. But Rain is continuing to harass. He's not dead. He didn't lose a base or anything like that.
You know what he's doing? He was actually banking Phoenixes. Did you see that? We only
got two right now.
He's getting a lot of drones here, by the way. We'll get to the Phoenix in a second. Well, we got 8 kills on this Oracle. Okay, so back down here, he was banking Phoenixes, but then he panicked when the roaches came out and sent his 1 Phoenix because he was going to try to do a second surprise attack here. And I guess he's still making Phoenixes now, but Rain in a little bit of a tough spot. These Phoenixes are awfully late.
Yeah, these Phoenixes, like, they're going to be very helpful if Mutalisks come. In fact, you know, there is a Spire. Rain has been doing some fantastic scouting. You know, the Spire is even upgrading, so Mutalisks are kind of a threat, but they aren't really that useful right now. A little bit of scouting, a little bit of harassment is really all they can do.
All right, so the Phoenixes are coming up now. I mean, this is the beginning of something, at least getting that queen, slowing him down a little bit. Problem right now, guys, remember what we were talking about earlier? We were saying the 4th base is where Protoss wants to strike. Was Protoss really been ever been able to get on his feet here? Not exactly.
Yeah, killing those sentries this early on it's really a big deal. And right now, Byul is kind of getting to do everything he wants. He's going up to Hive. He has multiple tech routes. Like, he has great upgrades coming as well. But Rain is still doing fine. It's not like he's down and out right now. He's getting his Size Storm, adding in some Immortals. So he is going to have the type of army that can beat pretty much anything.
You can see Rain is almost half-heartedly pushed out for a second. He's going to have to try to do something here. Because if you have Zerg up on the 4th base for this long, then the 5th base is even easier to get.
Well, I think that what he just did there, that was like posturing, you know, that was like puffing up your jacket against a bear to try to be like, hey, maybe I can hurt you. He's trying to make Byul play fair basically by moving out.
Almost loses that Overseer there.
Oh man, look at those tactical cannons almost killing the Overseer.
Yeah, Rain's pretty good with his cannons, man.
By the way, if those 3 roaches that we keep looking back at were to snipe High Templars, that would be like the greatest tragedy of a Protoss life.
Well, we have the beginning of a harass here. This is exactly what he needs to do. There's a possibility that Rain might be trying to do a push along with this. Look at this, though. Byul is actually not even going to react with his army in the middle of the map. He says, I've got this no problem.
Look at the drop upgrade. Ooh. This is really
Are you telling me there's a drop upgrade in this game, Artosis? How long has it been since we've casted a game where somebody's done this?
Seriously.
There might be people that have watched StarCraft for a year that didn't know Overlords could do that.
He didn't even get a speed yet for the Overlords, but that's something that can be useful on this map, actually.
Yeah.
But anyways, he does have Size Storm right now, does have the Observer, has multiple Immortals in here as well. His army, micro correctly, should be able to be fine.
Yeah, the angling might be good for Zerg, but the army is just so much better. And he is shredding this. Look at this, actually splitting up that army. He'll be able to punish those Hydras down to the bottom. The rest of these Hydras up here on the left can't even run away. That was the battle that Rain needed to have, and he came out completely on top. Absolutely beautiful. This will trigger the counterattack.
Byul actually had a huge group of roaches. Not huge, but a fair amount of roaches on that high ground that could be the 4th base of Rain coming up here. And he had them burrowed, and they just moved through the army and all died as he was going forward. So that was like a big part of that. That was a lot of supply that did 0. This warp in right now, Tasteless. This is a big deal.
They get the Warp Prism, but that's not really the story here. It's about the Spire, and it's going to be going down possibly in the last second.
Oh, man. Getting that Greater Spire is gigantic. We do see him moving in towards his 4th base now. Some great force fields. Byul's army all over the place. And this is huge. He is going to take down the 4th. He's taking out the high-end tech.
These Immortals are in such a good position here, and he's going to be able to warp it very easily. It looks like even that pylon down there is going to be warped in, no problem. and this is the attack that Rain needed to have. He won that battle there in the bottom. The counterattack is going brilliantly. Even though he's out of sentries, it's already done. He managed to win the fight and take out this expansion. And from here, there are a lot of ways Rain can do this. Rain can go back and just defend and wait for Zerg to take a fourth again and then smash it, or he could just continue to push forward. It'll just basically boil down to how he diagnoses the situation from here.
Well, he is continuing to push forward for now. There are a lot of Zerg units here, but still, Rain's army is really good. As long as he's in the concave and not the convex, he can absolutely win the fight. But I wouldn't be surprised if he does pull back just for a moment. He's securing his fourth base, so this is like one of those moments where he's about to become a hell of a lot stronger as long as he does not lose that fourth.
Guys, go out there and get the GOM app, please. We want to get some more messages from you guys here. So far, we know that Magic is the best caster in Russia. We've seen that this whole time.
Oh.
This is a great way for you guys to interact with the show.
Yeah.
It's almost as good as coming down here and having free pizza in the studio.
Almost.
Almost.
It's pretty close. Maybe the app gives you free pizza. I'm not sure. I didn't see anything about free pizza in the app, but you know.
Oh! You know what? That was
back on that Viper.
Yep, nicely done. I don't believe that Zerg can win this fight. There's 4 Immortals in there, and they're kind of in a nice, sweet spot. It's hard to engage them.
Yeah.
The Templars have got stormed. Remember, Hydras are terrible when it comes to retreating. Against an army like this, and we have a full-on engage now. Blinding Cloud's going down. It looks like, though, I mean, Rain just tears through this. The Immortals too strong against the Roaches. The Hydra's too small in numbers, as Rain is going to continue to push to the north.
And it looks like that's
GG.
it. GG. Rain takes game number 3. And now leads to the one taste. He only needs 2 more victories to get his first GSL Code S title.
He's close. That was an interesting game because so much was going right for Byul. In that, let's remember the time he took out those sentries. He spotted the hidden Oracle rush before it got there. Yep. Rain also sort of blew it back there and revealed he was banking Phoenixes because he thought he was going to lose that game after he saw the Roaches hitting his Stalkers. But in the end, kind of an odd decision there for Byul to be pushing out and attacking at that spot on the map. Rain won the fight, and that was really where the game turned upside down.
Yeah, the big mistake was, I think, the Burrow movement Roaches moving through his army, took out like a fourth of the army before the fight began, and then just crushed the rest. Byul should have gone out of there anyways since there was Psystorm. I think he had to, from there, like, go into some turtle mode and get those Broodlords out, but yeah, he even took down the Greater Spire. And really, that is the weapon that you have. If your opponent as a Protoss has Blink Stalkers, they have some Sentries, they have some Immortals, and they have Psystorm, you really do need to get up into Broodlords. There's really not a whole... Like, it used to be that Storm Hosts were the counter to that, but now you need those Broodlords.
You absolutely do. And it just seemed like... kind of an odd choice for me to be out on the map like that with that. You know, Roach Hydra is very scary until they start to lose the fight, and then they lose everything.
Yeah.
So...
Well, Blink Stalkers chase down absolutely anything, so...
And when you're in a fight and you're not on creep, I mean, you have to really know. It's a very unforgiving situation.
Certainly the case. Our next map is going to be Merry-Go-Round. This is going to be a bit Byul favored. I'm interested to see what Rain has concocted here to try to bring home a victory.
There we have a shot of Byul's mother here in the studio.
Yeah.
By other members of the family, showing her support for her son.
That's right.
But this is going to be a tough match.
You know who Rain has here? He has Best here, who is
a great StarCraft
literally the macro Protoss of the 6 Dragons, okay? So, like, if I could have my mother or Best watching me in the GSL Finals, Best every time. Every time.
I mean, Rain seems so well prepared for this. This is really, I mean, he is the new era of Protoss. Showing us that you don't have to always be cheesy. You don't have to do these wonky timings.
Yeah.
Actually, in this series so far, he's pretty much shown us everything. We came into this saying Byul was the player with the most diverse set of possible strategies he could execute. And as we're watching these games unfold, it looks like it's in fact Rain who is that person. Well, game number 4 is going to be on Merry-Go-Round. The game is loaded up. Tell your friends to tune in here for the GSL Code S Finals. In the upper right, in the red, he is.
Mind Sanity Rain.
And in the bottom center, in the red,
CJN2's Byul.
Okay.
a little bit of pressure here. Let's remember the 2 games where they went into the late game. Rain looked so perfect, he could not be touched.
Yeah,
the game that Byul won was the game that Rain did a all-in timing. And excellent. Thank you for coming down here, my friend.
SP Gaming represent. Bought all of your swag here. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I love it.
I have some
that was a dead serious glare we got there. I like that. I like it. So we got
good style.
The hatch coming down here now, and it's going to be Nexus first. So these guys are both going for macro builds.
Yeah, it's smart of Rain to take like the small risk here. A lot of times we see him do things like gateway expand, but this time expand into gateway. It's like if there was a super early pull, Byul could very likely take out this Nexus and get a huge advantage. But he's saying, you know what, this map is a little bit tough. You have to take your edges where you can get them here.
This has always been kind of a funny map when we get into late game. It's rotationally symmetric. And it's at moments it can go well for Zerg, but just in these spots it might be a bit of a tricky one here for Byul.
Well, I think overall Byul is probably pretty happy with the map coming up right now, just because it's like
versus too soon or something.
Well, I think that this is a really pivotal match. This game is the most important because he's down 2-1, and if Rain gets on match point now, like if you're on match point this early, like 3-1, then you can just like you could DT rush 3 games in a row, and you're probably going to pick one up, right?
Yeah,
like,
statistically, you should win one of
anything
those.
you do, it's like, okay, we're so close in level. So he really, really needs to win this one, and it's so hard to take a third here as Protoss against Zerg that I think as long as Byul is really on top of his scouting, he doesn't get too greedy, there's a decent chance he wins this one. He just finds out whatever Rain's diabolical Protoss plan will be, and then tries to counter it.
Tries to foil it.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we're going to have the Wallen start up over here in just a little bit. We have the Mothership Core coming out now. Ling speed a little bit under halfway done. And that's too bad. He actually spotted the probe. Always a frustrating thing when you're Protoss and you don't get your scout out. Nice deny here by Rain.
Well, do have that third hatch starting up. Going a little bit aggro with that kind of towards Rain's base.
Yeah, that's definitely indicating that he's pretty confident. That Rain cannot really hurt him early on. And we're going to have Ling speed finish up here now. In a few moments, we'll have a much better idea of where Rain is going to take this game. He might even try that Stargate play again.
Oh, could be.
I mean, wouldn't that be the most unexpected thing, right?
It would be highly, highly unexpected. Now, Rain...
Artosis, can you check on the preview PC? Did he actually...
He didn't see it.
He did not see it, okay.
No. And that's maybe part of the reason why he made it there, is to kind of sneak in. He does actually go for that Stargate play. Good call, Tasteless.
So this is funny. He's going to go for the... He's going to go for this strat that is, first of all, already so unusual. He's going to do it a second time. And I like what Rain's doing in this specific situation because Rain is already ahead, right? I mean, I highly doubt Byul will be prepared for this, but we'll see.
Well, you know what? I think he wants to maybe go into a macro game here. He just put a forge down. So what this tells me is I think he's getting the Oracle for scouting and harassment.
Oh, that's
and will
interesting.
go into a third base, I believe.
See, here's what I was thinking when I look at the situation. I was thinking he was going to bank up the 2 Oracles, and then while he moves out, he makes cannons and an Nexus at his expansion.
Yeah.
As the timing goes.
Yeah, with the oracles and maybe a little push. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's not like an all-in like I was kind of expecting.
No.
Yeah, totally. I think that's what he's doing now, because I mean that's what the Forge is screaming at the moment. Is like, hey,
whenever you see a Forge, you're looking at the,
a much
later
game.
game, right?
Yeah.
You're investing a lot more into having an advantage later on.
Well, he makes the one Oracle, making a Phoenix as well. The Phoenix isn't really too telling. It can just be to clean up the Overlords that are in pretty obvious locations throughout the map, or something else.
And so here comes that Oracle now here. Going to take out some of these drones.
Absolutely no scout of this beforehand, and look at the amount that he is going to get.
10 kills now.
Oh my god. 11 kill Oracle. Ends up losing the Oracle.
It almost would have been better to just continue to kill the drones instead of even trying to run away.
To continue or to leave one earlier would have been both definitely superior.
He's making some more gates now. I do wonder if the massive number of gateways being made here and not expanding was in part a reaction to getting that many drones. We'll have to see.
It definitely could be.
He also couldn't get out of into his third base because there were so many speedlings there. So
the fact that he's still making Phoenixes, like he's already got 3 and he's making another, I think he still could make a third base.
He could. It's also possible, with some of the interesting plays we've seen from Rain here already, that we could have some weird 2-base timing.
It could be. Really, with the Phoenixes, it takes a lot of strength out of it because they do cost so much gas. Like each of these Phoenixes costs like a Zealot and a Sentry. So that makes me think that he might be going for a third base here, just like really safe, where he's like, well, it doesn't matter what you did, I can't die. My third is up.
It's almost like a PvP, right, where they like have all their gateways up and all their tech done, and then they expand at the last second, and there it is.
This is actually exactly how I play this map. Well, without the Phoenixes, though.
Yeah. Well, he is going to expand. A lot of times, if you want to break down in a really simple fashion how to beat Zerg, it really boils down to punishing the timings of their drones versus their army, and of course eliminating hatcheries. And he's really keeping Byul on his toes here.
Yeah, and this is as safe a third base as you could literally ever take. He's taken his. Well, I guess you could take it later, but he's getting so much tech with this. He's making it. He's doing a little push. This push should not be ending the game or anything like that. But if he gets some great force fields, who knows? Those are really nice force fields so far, picking off quite a few Hydras.
These are really good. He took out the Queen. He's actually isolated this really nicely.
Oh, man.
Really good usage of the Phoenixes here as well. And hold up, is he just going to come in here and win this?
Yeah, he might.
By the way, we don't have a shot of it just yet, but the third base, I can see on the minimap, is under attack here, which might be why the army here from Byul is looking pretty small. But this game, unlike the last, Byul just ran out of steam. He just got in there, assassinated him. Easy peasy, man.
Brain did everything right, and he had that was, I think it really so much comes down to that 11 kill Oracle. It was just like a really smart move, and then he caught Byul out of position. Rain just kind of dominated that game. Byul did not have his units made at the right time. He was doing what you were saying. He was abusing when his drones are popping out, when his units are popping out. It's like kill 11 drones. Your opponent's kind of re-droning, trying to get his economy back up to make units. Bam, sledgehammer attack.
It's funny because you look at games like that. A lot of people might be watching and thinking, "What the hell? Why didn't he have an army?" It's all these little subtle things that Rain is doing to control the flow of drones versus attacking units. And then you get a nice timing in there. You get the force fields up. You execute that tactically. In Rain's case, beautifully, and you win the game.
Anytime that you get 11 drones, now this wasn't like hatch before pool or anything like that. This was like a more conservative build from Byul. So to lose 11 drones to the first Oracle as soon as it comes across the map is like almost straight up a game winner for a Protoss of this caliber. So really well done by Rain. Even had that fallback nexus in case Byul had made enough units to hold off his attack.
Here's the problem, too. He has to, Byul has to win 3 games in a row right now.
Yeah, this is brutal.
There's so much room here for Rain to cheese if he wants to just continue to play a lot of conservative games. It's going to be tough for Byul. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll be going on to the rest of the finals here at the GSL Code S.